In this video, we're going to work on a quick introduction to shaders in Godot, and we're going to use it to make a quick flash effect when our player takes some damage. So I have a player already built along with a test level where we can do damage on a button press, so I can hopefully be able to demonstrate this to you. So let's first get started where we need to go to our player, and inside of the sprite 2D, we need to go down to the material drop down inside of canvas item, and we're going to be making a new shader material. Inside of here, you can hit new shader, and we're just going to call this hit flash. Then we're going to bring up our shader editor, so we need to go and find where we put that shader. Mine is in my player folder. So let's open this up. If you're writing in gdscript, this is going to look a little bit unfamiliar. This is going to be closer to some C syntax. We are going to be using the OpenGL shading language. And without getting into too much detail on this, the shader type canvas item is going to be used for 2D shaders. And so we're going to keep that, but we're going to get rid of everything else. The first thing that we're going to make is a uniform, which is what makes the variable accessible by gdscript. And we're going to do a vec4, which is going to be our flash color. We're going to do source color is going to equal a vec4, 1.0, 1.0, 1.0, and 1.0. So we're making a white flash here, and these are going to be the RGB and alpha values. Then in our next line, we're going to use another uniform, and it's going to be a float. I'm going to do flash modifier, which is going to be a int range, and we're going to just do 0 and 1.0, which is fine, and we're going to default it to 0.0. And this is going to be how strong our flash is. Then we need to create a void fragment. So this is going to be our method, and we're going to do a vec4, call this texture color, and it's going to equal a texture with our texture in UV. So the texture will be our sprite's texture, and then after this we're going to get another vec4 for final color. It's going to be equal to a mix of our texture color, our flash color, and our flash modifier. So you need to remember to put semicolons after the end of each line. And then lastly, we need to set color for this, and we change the color to final color. And that's all that we're going to have to do inside of the shader editor. Now, since we have this applied to our sprite here, we can go back to the player script, and I'm going to have this happen inside of a take damage method. I'm also going to create another method that just is a function to set our flash modifier, which is going to be a value, which is a float. It's not going to return anything. And all we're going to do here is if sprite.material. So if we have a shader attached to this, we get that sprite.material, and we're going to set shader parameter on our flash modifier and give it the value. And so this flash modifier that we set up inside of our shader is now available inside of these shader parameters over here. Then we need to go into our take damage and actually make this happen along with when we're losing our health. So we're going to do our health minus equal the amount that's being passed in. And then if we have a sprite.material, we're going to create a tween so we can have a smooth transition. So we're going to do a variable for tween. Let's create a tween. And then we are going to do a tween method. We're going to pass in the set flash modifier without the parens. And then we're going to do 1.0, 0.0, and 0.2. So the 1.0 is going to be the start value. The 0 is the end value. And then this is going to be 0.2 is going to be our duration in seconds. So I have the button to deal damage to my player every time I click it. So let's go see if this will flash for us. Okay, so that's not fully what we want. I don't want it to be that full square. So let's go tweak this. So in order to get rid of that big box there, we need to preserve the original alpha of our sprite. So we're going to do our final color dot alpha. It's going to equal the texture color .alpha. Let's make sure we put the semicolon at the end. Now we can save this. We can rerun this level. And now we have a damage flash. So hopefully this was a good introduction to what you can do with shaders. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do. You can have color variations for different damage types. You can create dissolve effects or distortions. There's a lot that you can do with shaders. So I'll link some materials in the description of this video if you're interested in learning more.